You know, that's what I'm talking about. But because of me, I know. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Senior Prom. I'm your host, Stanley Dyrector. My guest, Al Maines, is a multi-talented actor, dancer, who has appeared in numerous films and television shows. You've seen him on Hill Street Blues, Matlock, okay, Al, Baltimore Bullet, and the list goes on. He just completed a featured role on a television pilot with Christopher Lloyd called Deadly Games. Al Maines has also worked with Tony Bennett, choreographing some of Tony's song numbers. By the way, Al has the distinction of auditioning on every Broadway stage in New York City. I'm spritzing. So Al, tell our vast TV audience, what was the reason you came to Hollywood, California?
Well, I don't think it's any of your business, Dan. Oh, I came here like everybody else came here, to be a star. To be a star. No big player, a star. Although I do get big parts, I came to be a star. Didn't we all?
But you are a star.
Now, I try to convince myself, after 35 years, I'm finally a star.
But tell me something. Who influenced you on this to be a star? Remember, your credit says actor, dancer.
Who influenced me to be a star?
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah, but who? Yeah, in other words, who was a prototype of Al Maines? Who was your heroes?
My heroes. When I wanted to be an actor about 2 years before I was born. You know that, don't you?
I didn't know about that.
I go way back. Anyway, first thing I wanted to be was John Garfield.
Oh, yeah?
Sure. All my life I was born in the gutter, I'm going to die in the gutter. Then I wanted to be James Cagney. You dirty rat. You gave it to me, I'll give it to you, we'll give it to each other, you know? And then I made the mistake of going to a Fred Astaire picture.
Yeah?
I saw this guy. He's dancing on the ceiling, he's dancing on the floor, he's dancing all over the world. I said, man, this is for me. So I got myself some tap shoes, and I started tap dancing.
And you learn by yourself? You're tapping over there. Did you learn by yourself?
Oh, I can't help it. I'm always shaking my feet. Always shaking my feet. No, I took a little lessons in Newburgh. I'm from Newburgh, New York, by the way.
I won't hold it against you.
I know. Usually people do. Anyway, I come from it's about an hour and a half up the river.
That's by Sing Sing, Newburgh, New York, right?
Yeah, your hometown. You know, where you used to live.
Well, look.
Third cell on the right. I know you.
Let's not tell everybody about it.
I used to come to visit you, you know. No, Newburgh, and then from Newburgh, I went to New York and looked for stardom.
Yeah, but you told me that you were once at West Point. Now, what were you, a cadet?
I told everybody I was. Tell them, no. I went up there. Actually, I was in New York first. Then I made a maneuver because I was starving to death in New York. So I went home to get a little mama's cooking, you know.
Yeah.
So luckily, I applied for a job for West Point as a waiter. So I got a job up in West Point.
Did they tip?
No.
Oh, okay.
They used to give me a lot of tips. Don't show up, you know, things like that. You know? But it was we'd get up every morning. We'd get up before the cadets. They'd get up at 5. We'd get up at 4:30. You know, you couldn't see any. You'd walk around. Where are the chairs? Where are the tables? You know. We'd have to wait on 30 cadets apiece. That's 10, and 10. You know.
Right.
And remember the first time I showed up, I was out there with the tray. You know, I went to look. I didn't know where my cadets were because all the tables were one.
Right.
So I'm banging on everything, running into things, I'm getting caught on the swords, you know. Anyway, I was there for about 6 months, and I gave that up and saved money. I went back to New York, studied with Stella Adler.
Hey, the great Stella Adler, who was on Broadway and Waiting for Lefty and all those kind of shows.
Yeah.
How was it? I mean, did you become like?
I'll talk like brother. I was called Method. No, it wasn't for me. She's great, you know, you read a lot about her, and she's a myth, she's a legend today, but not for me.
Not for you.
No, because I'm more of the vaudeville, the showbiz, hi, how are you, hey, baby, you know. Now, I went to her, she tried to get me inside myself. You know what I mean? And I used to get up there, this is true, I used to get up on stage, and I used to talk to all the kids, you know, and I was I wowed them. Every time I would do my shtick, they'd go, "Oh, you're terrific, man. You killed it, man. You were great." I was doing shtick.
Yeah, right.
And she'd say, "No, that's not it. You're supposed to work from the inside." So one day she held my hand. She says, "Now say the same thing, only without all the antics." You know what? I died. I became a prune. I was walking around like this. Had no more friends after that. Nobody would talk to me. I was dead.
Yeah.
Stella Adler, I wanted to strangle.
Really?
So, it wasn't for me. I'm not the method guy.
Right.
I work from the outside.
Right. Hey, I won't hold that against you either. But what kind of shows? I understand that you were on every Broadway stage in New York City.
And I was kicked off every Broadway stage, too, in New York City.
Could you tell us some of the stages you were kicked off of?
Well, not kicked off, like thank you. You know that word thank you?
I've heard of it.
When you get out there, you go, they go, thank you very much. So what the hell I show up for? You know what I mean? No, I went to Garden Theater, the Imperial Theater, the Broadway Theater.
Yeah, what kind of shows, though? What shows?
Gypsy. I did for Gypsy.
Yeah, tell us a little about Gypsy.
Gypsy, I almost made it. Does that count when you say you almost made something in life? Huh?
Well, hey, look, you made something.
It keeps, I don't know. I went, at that time, Paul Wallace. He was in the show, Gypsy.
Big Broadway dancer.
Yeah, he was a
actor.
dancer. He had a big part. All I need is a girl, a big number,
Yeah.
So they needed to replace because he was coming out here to do the movie. So I went to the audition, and I blew him away. I did. I got rhythm. I sang. I was all over that stage.
Yeah.
Stage manager comes up to me and he says, "Hey, you're terrific. I never seen you before around Broadway. Real show business stuff. You've never been around Broadway." I go, "Oh, really?" Yeah. So he says, now by this time I thought I had the job. I'm walking around, I'm cocky, I'm terrific, I'm better than anybody. He says, "You're great." He says, "But you're too ethnic looking."
What does that mean?
I says, "What's an ethnic?" I thought I had warts. I thought I had a hump on my back. I said, "I'm an ethnic." I went home and called my mother. "I'm an ethnic, Ma. All these years I'm an ethnic." I don't know what the hell it meant,
Yeah, sure.
I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, you're too dark, you're more for West Side Story." I said, "I'll dye my hair."
West Side Story.
Everybody else does.
People are dark in West Side Story.
Yeah, well, you're Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
that would have
right.
been good for me.
Right, sure.
But, so he killed me with that. Anyway, he wrote out recommendation for West Side Story, which they never called. I auditioned for Irma La Douce, private audition, but I never got it.
Yeah.
And then I was up for George M. Cohan.
You're kidding.
Well, I did everything I could to get to the show.
You kind of remind me a little of Cagney in a way.
"I'm the kid that's got the candy. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. I am, by gosh, that ain't no Josh. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. You know the rest, kid. I'd rather be right. I'd rather be wrong. I think I am Jamie Cagney. I'm also schizophrenic." Feel free to jump in, Stan. I'm on a roll.
But I want to ask you something.
What?
Eventually, it came out to Hollywood, and then Casablanca influenced your life, didn't it?
All right, sweetheart, let me tell you this. Everybody blamed it on the strawberries. Actually, it wasn't the strawberries. It was the apples.
That's a Cane Mutiny.
Was it? I don't know. I'm all these. I don't know who I am, Stan. I mean, I'm an actor. I don't know who the hell I am.
Look. What is?
Go ahead.
I can't keep a straight face with you, pal.
Schizophrenic too.
But what does a dancer do these days in Hollywood?
You watch his old movies? Old Fred Astaire. I do that every night. I got all my old Fred Astaire pictures. I put them in, and I just sit back and I go, God, those were the days. Those were the days.
You really identify with this gentleman, Fred Astaire.
I love Fred Astaire. I met Fred Astaire.
Yeah.
I've studied everything about I mean, I live and breathe this man. I don't idolize the guy. As a dancer and the way he dressed, the way he composed himself, I love Fred Astaire. You know what I'm talking about? I love Fred Astaire.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna, fight you about that. But I mean, what did you learn from
I
him?
thought you were getting slick. You were going to pull out a gun or something. What did I learn?
Yeah.
Well, I learned how to starve. I learned how to.
Well, he certainly was successful.
Yeah, but I tried to pick that route that he took.
Yeah.
Unless you got $42 million behind you, okay. But unless you got that little something, to keep you going, that little support and all that, just
right.
to get out there on your own, it's rough. It's
particularly for a guy who's a hoofer and.
Well, if there's nobody back there, everybody needs a cushion. An actor needs a cushion.
Right.
Now, I've gone through 1 million eating jobs in New York, one-room dumps. I taught tap out here. I lived in my studio Thanks to my wife who kicked me out.
Wait a minute, you live in your studio?
I had a
How
tap
could you-
studio. Yeah.
What, how do you live in your studio?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. No hot water. I couldn't bathe. Oh, I'd walk around, people go like this. Hello, Al, how are you? I said, what are you holding your nose for? No, it was. I mean, it was bad, but yet it was fun at the same time.
Yeah.
But that's the way it was.
But you've worked quite a bit in this business.
Of course you work. You know, you get this, you get that. You're here 1 minute, and you're out the next minute. You're here 1 minute, you're out the next minute. You're never there that long. You know, to get that real taste.
Right. Well, but you're from a show business family, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Mother was in a girls' band back in the 30s. Father was a master ceremonialist, sang like Al Jolson.
Is that right?
Sure. I was raised by, we came from a family where we'd argue like crazy. I've got 2 lovely sisters. One's a beautiful singer. The other's in real estate now, and she does acting. She's talented, and she uses show business within real estate.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was brought up on all that showbiz stuff. My father, every morning in the mirror, Mammy, my little baby, Mammy, my little baby, Mammy. I go, Dad, can I get in the bathroom? I gotta go. 1 more minute, Mammy, my little baby. I lived on it. Yeah, it's true.
So, actually, then Hollywood was really up your alley in a sense. I mean, Broadway and Hollywood, because you.
It was, see, being from an hour and a half upstate, I was like raised on movies. Movies was my life.
Yeah.
You know, like I would live. I go to the movies 3 or 4 times a week. I go in a movie. I'd stay in all day long. I wouldn't come out of a movie. And I wanted Hollywood. I wanted the lights. I wanted the cameras. I did some stage work, but I don't know. It wasn't my fantasy. It wasn't my dream. My dream was to be in a studio. The word studio. You know, that word, that cube door.
Like Warner Brothers.
Oh, to me.
20th Century Fox.
I never lost that. Even around here, the studio, the lights and the cameras, I love it. I mean, it's where I've always wanted to be, you know? And Hollywood, I used to write when I was a kid. This is cute. Can I go on?
Go, hey, Al, this is your show, babe.
I used to write when I was a little kid, actor Alvin Maines. That's my Alvin Maines, you know. Don't tell anybody I said that. Actor Alvin. I used to write that as my ID. I was a little kid. I'm 8 or 9. So one day, I went out with a bunch of guys or something on an outing, and I lost my wallet. Somebody found it, sent it to me, and the envelope said, to actor Alvin Maines. To see, they said actor Alvin Maines. I thought that was so funny, you know.
Sure.
But my whole life, since I was, like I said before I was born, I loved Hollywood. I'm one of those Hollywood
You're a legend.
Hollywood weirdos. In my mind, I'm a legend. See, I think I'm somebody. I've been around for so long. I've been living vicariously for so many years. I think I'm part of these guys now.
You're the Gene Kellys.
Oh, I'm Gene Kelly, of course.
The Bogarts.
Hi, how are you? Gene Kelly, singing in the rain.
Go ahead. Sing it.
Sure, Gene Kelly, Fred
Give me a
Astaire.
bar of Gene Kelly. Come on, give me a bar.
Well, little Gene Kelly, you know, he actually talks like I talk now, you know, a little raspy, you know. No kid, okay, sure. Let me tell you about Gene Kelly. Gene Kelly was an admirer of John Garfield. Did you know that they were very good friends?
No, I didn't know that.
This is true. And when Kelly would act, he would try to be like John Garfield.
Really?
Watch his pictures. Remember that when he did that down to the mouth, those love things? Sure, Kathy, all my life I was on my way, and I finally saw the bridge, and I took one look at you, Kathy, and I had to say, it's very clear our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. You know, things like that, you know. But
I'm at a loss for words. You ever hear that?
I'm getting tired. But
No.
sorry. Where was it? Where am I?
No, I was at a loss for words.
I'm sorry.
What I wanted to say to you was, isn't film so technical, though?
That's the problem with films today. Everything's technical. Everything's special effect. They blow up a bridge. They blow up a person. I predict within 10 years, special effects is going to get the Oscar. It's going to be one big machine coming up.
But look,
But let me tell you something.
yeah, I want Al to tell us something.
There's one thing that special effects can never touch.
Okay.
And that's the old straw hat.
The old straw.
You see, Stan, whether you know it or not, no matter what they do, they blow up bridges, they blow up people, they blow up the world. 1 billion tons of dynamite, they can never blow this up because, you know, this is show business. This is it. Don't get any bigger than this. And if you think it does, well, I'm talking to the wrong person. Meanwhile, as they say, let me show you. I got my hat. I got my cane. I don't mind if I'm caught in the rain. I'm feeling good. Got my smile. Got my wink. Don't go on benders. Don't go see a shrink. Hey, I'm feeling good. This old world won't make me frown. Only gravity can keep me down. I don't want fame. I don't want wealth. As long as I got my hat and cane, got my health, and I got my hat. I got my cane. I'm the last one that's gonna complain because I'm feeling good. I got my hat, I got my cane. I don't mind if I'm caught in the rain because I'm feeling good. Got my smile, got my wing. Don't go on benders, don't go see a shrink. Hey, I'm feeling good. This old world won't make me frown. Only gravity can keep me down. I don't want fame. I don't want wealth. As long as I got my hat and cane, I got my health, and I got my hat. I got my cane. I'm the last one that's gonna complain because I'm feeling good.
Al, you're beautiful, Al. Encore.
baby.
Put on your thing. You know, we forgot the mic. Put it on.
How do you work with these things?
Because look, it's not easy. It takes.
I go back before there were microphones, you know.
Al, that was wonderful.
But that's my show business, you know. I don't know if we'll ever see it. You'll see it again. There's always that little dancing guy that's always going to go by in this world.
Mm-hmm.
You'll always see him because that's what spirit is.
Oh yeah.
That's tap dancing is like the Americana.
Uh-huh.
It's free. And you can get up and jump around and be free and express yourself. That's what life's all about. And that's what America's all about. So more people should be tap dancing.
I want you to. You sound like George M. Cohan for a minute.
You dirty. I don't know George M. Cohan from James Cagney. To me, they're the same. I never saw George M. Cohan. I did years ago in a movie.
Yeah.
But to me, they were all the same, you know.
Uh-huh.
When Cagney did. Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street I will soon be there. Whisper a tune I'm yearning to mingle with the old-time throng. Just give my regards to old Broadway and tell them I'll be there. How long? Okay, Johnny. See you around.
Al, you are such a talented guy. Do you have any plans of taking a show on the road or anything like that? Your song and dance stuff? I mean, you really are so versatile.
You know, it's always been a dream. I wanted to get my own show and all that, but I got stuck in this town like acting when that's only fragments of what I do. And maybe someday I will do. I wrote a play.
Mm-hmm.
I've been taking it around, but, you know, nothing really, no great shakes. It's called The Tap Dancer.
Oh, yeah?
And I was thinking about doing a one-man show about that, yeah. About a guy gets stuck in his tap school, and he can't get out, and he's fighting to get out, and he really realizes that's who he is. We can't run away from ourselves, Dan, because whatever we are, if we don't like it, that's too damn bad. That's who we are. We got to love it, love who we are, and live by that. And I learned that by myself. Anytime I step out of who I'm not, that's when everything's bigger than I am. I can't handle it. I'm not that person. I'm only what I am, whatever that is. And then I realized, I think I was talking about this yesterday, about being a somebody. My whole life I wanted to be a somebody. We all came here to be a somebody. As I got older, I realized that I am a somebody. I've always been a somebody. You're a somebody. You're a somebody. We're all somebodies. The day we're born, we're somebody. And to make it any more than that, it's crazy. Just let life ride. Just let it ride. You're a somebody already.
I love that philosophy, Al.
Well, I stole that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, what was the most fun you ever had in a part?
The most fun I ever had in a part.
Yeah, role.
Probably when I did Gangster Chronicles. I was the bag man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was fun.
That's the guy who picks up the shekels, right?
Picks up the money. I pick up the money right in that scene. They were supposed to dynamite this door, you know? Well, they said they were going to dynamite it, but I didn't know they were going to use dynamite. You know what I mean?
Really?
I mean, this thing. You didn't have to be an actor. The way I reacted, it was sure fear. Anyway, I sat at my table. I open up the money. They blow up this thing, and let me tell you, it. My eyes were.
Sure.
And that was fun. Driving the old car, dressing up like the hoods of the 30s, you know.
Right.
It's fun.
Well, if you had, say, a great deal of money, $50 million, we'll say, to do the movie that you would want to do, what kind of movie would you do? Would you do one movie, or would you do a dance movie?
Like I was talking about, like the tap dancer. I might want to do that.
For $50 million?
Well, maybe a couple of tap dances. A little tap dance, a little soft shoe dance. You asked me, would I like to produce films, or would I like
No, but if you had like it's the Twilight Zone, and you have a chance to do whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
what would you want to do? I'm talking about all the shekels in the world, $50 million.
Well, forgive the ego, but I'd want to do every aspect that I thought I could do in a movie. To dance, to act, to clown around, to just all those things that are inside me that want to come out, just to spill it out. That's what I'd like to do. Get all that out of me. And it would take $50 million to do it, too. Without somebody pushing it back in. No, it's $50 million. You got to do it. Okay.
Well, do you think that if you had kind of the opportunity to do everything over again, would you take the same path that you took? In other words, come out to Hollywood, obviously cold turkey, wasn't it?
Oh, hey, one day, I'll tell you one, this is fast. I knew a dancer back in New York, and he married Alexander Cohen's daughter. Remember Alexander Cohen, the producer?
I've heard the name, yeah, sure.
Anyway, now this is about 3 days before I go to California. So, you never know what to do. You're always with a question, should I or shouldn't I? 3 days before I go to California, I'm walking down the street. The guy knocks on the window in the coffee shop. He says, "Al, come on in. He says, "Al, how you doing?" I said, "I'm going to California." He says, "No, don't go." He says, "My father-in-law is Alexander Cohen." He says, "I'm working upstairs in the office now. Whenever there's an audition, I can get you in on it. Don't go to California." That was took me years to make up my mind to get to California. 3 days before I go, he's got to put that in my head. Now I go, what do I do? Should I stay? Anyway, I came to California, packed my bag, got on a bus, came out to Hollywood.
What was your first job?
First acting job?
Yeah.
I did a movie called The Christian Liquor Store
Oh,
with Bo
yeah.
Bridges and
Sure. A Terry Southern piece, right?
yeah,
Hey, kid, you're talking to an intellectual here.
Maud Adams. Maud Adams was in it. Yeah, that was my. You know that's the funny. That's the funny story too. Can I tell you the story?
Sure,
This
sure.
is-
Go ahead, kid.
This is funny. Gee, thanks. Now this is my first movie, right?
Right.
And I had to sing, and I had to dance. I had to do this crazy number I don't remember. On the way to where we're going, there's a licorice store with a current bar, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, I was like this made-up pantomime type guy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I'm wired like crazy. Now, we did it in this big house. It was like the hippie era.
Uh-huh.
There were 9,000 little hippies all laid over the,
Yeah.
you know. And I get to do my shtick.
Mm-hmm.
I do a little slap. They go, wow, wonderful, wonderful. I go like that. They go, marvelous, marvelous. No matter what I did, I was marvelous. I wasn't doing anything. Coming from New York, you know, you had to kill yourself.
Right,
If
sure.
anybody would say that's pretty
Sure.
good. Well, I'd go like this. How does he wipe his hand that way? You know, to give me the old, you know.
Yeah.
So then there was this one director who I won't mention his name, but I don't like him to this day.
Right.
Cecil B. DeMille. No, I'm only
He's kidding, he's
No,
kidding,
I'm
he's
kidding.
kidding.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, so every time I went to do the scene, he'd go, okay, baby. It was baby. It was all the Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
Now remember, you're on Broadway right now. This is it. This is the big time. He says, go out there, tear them down. Okay, stop the audience, stop the show. I wanted to stop his mouth, you know, because he was, yeah. And every time I got doing it, he'd say, wonderful, brilliant, marvelous. And I'd say, gee, I wish I had a cigarette. He'd go, get out a cigarette. Bam, a cigarette in my hand. This is my first day in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Then I said, geez, I'm thirsty. Get out a drink. Now there's a drink. Now, I yell out, and this is true.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. I get right to this. I was like fed up with all these compliments, and it would make me so insecure. Not that I can't take a compliment, but come
Sure.
on. Now, and I'm dumb. It's the first time I'm in a movie. I stood in the middle of the floor, and I yell out, doesn't anybody know the word horseshit around here? I yelled it out. And I just I had to say that, you know what I mean? Just to make myself, thou art only a human being. Because, you know, you start flying after a while, you know. You're so great, you're good, you're terrific.
Right,
my
you get
God.
that giant head and you forget about
when you-
what's going on.
They-
Well, you know, I mean, what you say makes so much sense. And do you know our time is wrapping up? I can't believe it. I wanted you to give advice to people out there who want to be dancers and things like that. A fast word, just a fast word. A fast word. Nah, can't do that even, huh?
Can't do a fast word?
Go ahead, you can do it. One word.
Whatever you want to do it. The hell with everybody. Do what you got to do.
I love it, Al. I want to thank my audience out there. I want to thank my beautiful guest, Al Maines,
Thank you,
who is
Stan.
really terrific, and I look forward to